In episode 5, Daniel is extremely confrontational with Terry. It's understandable. Terry gets it. He tells Daniel, I'm not that guy anymore. As all of the Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang kids watch on from afar, Daniel kind of threatens them. Terry, being very rational, says, that's fine. Just know, we're going to still hold our students to a moratorium on fighting before the tournament. We hope you guys will do the same. And Kreese doesn't even let them answer. He just reminds them about the deal that if Cobra Kai wins the Valley, Johnny and Daniel are done teaching. Right before Kreese leaves, he goes back into manipulation mode, telling Johnny that he's playing second fiddle to Daniel. And when Johnny says that's not the case, Kreese points out it's his name on the dojo. Kreese and Silver head back to Cobra Kai and let the kids know. They just got back from Miyagi-Do Eagle Fang, and they are not to fight before the tournament. Tori especially is pissed off about this because she feels like that they get to be humiliated and can't even answer back. But Terry brings up, there is a time and a place for everything. So if your enemies do something like laugh at you or mess with you, store that anger, because you're going to need it when the time comes. While Robbie hears what Silver said, he has an idea on how they can get some payback. Kreese also heard Terry, loud and clear, and he doesn't like what he heard. He takes him out to dinner and says, I want to make sure we're on the same page here. Cobra Kai never backs down from a fight, tournament or no tournament. And we always strike first. Terry points out, though, that Kreese already did strike first. He stole Robbie. Stealing a guy's kid? That's a pretty big strike. Silver warns Kreese, you got all of these kids wrapped up in your drama, and if you don't fix it, it's going to take down Cobra Kai. Kreese, however, reassures Silver that he's got it under control, but Silver says, from where I'm sitting, it's not what it looks like. Let's just focus on taking down Johnny and Daniel. After the run-in, though, with Terry Silver, Daniel LaRusso needs a drink. Him and Johnny head to the bar, and he fills Johnny in on the backstory between him and Terry Silver. When Daniel brings up Miguel and what's best for him, unaware of just how sensitive Johnny is to this, Johnny says, you think you're better than me because 30 years ago you won by 1 point of one lucky kick. Let's remember, I was Cobra Kai's #1 student, and if anyone knows how to beat them, it's going to be me. It suddenly starts an argument between the two, where at the end of it, they agree to fight again to settle the score. Best of 3. Whoever wins is going to take over the kids' training. The students find out about this because Johnny hopped on Twitter and tweeted about the fight. Most of the kids seem a little bit worried about it. Hawk, however, thinks it's a great idea. He thinks it's awesome. Sam, however, lets Amanda know, who ends up questioning Daniel on if he's really going to fight Johnny 30 years after their initial fight. Daniel says, no, of course not. We were drunk. I'm sure Johnny woke up today and is saying the same thing. But that's not the case at all. Johnny is in training mode, as much as you can train for a fight in 24 hours. Daniel, though, still doesn't think they're actually going to fight. He's in the middle of texting Johnny an apology when Sam walks through the door. Sam questions her dad on what he did to set Johnny off, and Daniel takes offense to it, saying, that's the thing, I didn't do anything. The littlest thing sets Johnny Lawrence off. I've tried to make this work, Sam. He's impossible. Sam disagrees, saying he's not impossible, he just has a different style. She then asks her dad if this has anything to do with the guy that showed up at the dojo with Kreese, and Daniel says, yes, he is the one who lured me into Cobra Kai. Daniel reassures her, though, that there won't be any fight, and Sam says, of course not. Miyagi-Do is all about avoiding conflict. And the attitude catches Daniel's ear, and he questions Sam on when all of a sudden that became an issue. And she tells him, when a psycho attacked me. Suddenly, Sam is starting to side with Johnny's way of thinking. For whatever reason, Daniel thinks this is a good time to bring up how Sam acted at the birthday party with Tori, and he tells her that's not how we act. But Sam lets him know that might not be how you act, but I can make my own decisions. Now, while he wasn't planning on fighting, Daniel and Johnny show up at the dojo ready to throw down, but they're not the only ones there. The students are all there, and they're all filming it. Johnny takes the first point. Daniel ends up taking the next 2. He's got game point. Johnny, however, ties it up with the next point winning. Problem is, no one knows who won because they knocked each other out at the same time. As all of the kids are checking the replay, Hawk shows up, but Hawk is missing his mohawk. He went to the tattoo parlor where the tattoo artist didn't show up, but the Cobra Kai kids did. And they didn't get into a fight. They simply shaved his mohawk off. Hawk is back to Eli. Johnny says aloud that if Kreese did this, then both him and Silver need to pay. And Daniel throws his arms up saying, he almost killed you last time. What, you want to fight them both now? The two different ideologies just cannot seem to coexist. Sam actually comes to the defense of Johnny, and Daniel can't believe it. He thinks Johnny's being a bad influence. And when he tells Johnny that, Johnny tells him, you don't have to worry about that anymore because we're done. And the marriage between Cobra Kai and Eagle Fang is over. Thank you so much for checking out this recap. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit thumbs up if you liked it. Smash that thumbs down button if you thought this sucked. Make sure to be nice in the comment section. If you don't see the next video up in the end screen there, I'll get it up in a few days, not to worry. And I have merchandise, so go buy a mug or something. It's never too early to think about Christmas gifts, folks. But once again, thank you for checking out this recap.